Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I've been doing a few things since the last time I streamed. Mainly working on getting...
Is a genius.
let's get away from
So,
the Ferengi and the Apple Cat lady. So I do not have any weapons, so I'm not going to join that battle over there. But I've been trying to get the ornaments. I've been working through them on both of my accounts, which, every 4 hours I come in here, I clear out what duty officer missions I have to clear out, and then assign the new ones. Also, Admiralty weekend, so I've been working on these. I'm actually to the point where completing the Admiralty mission gives me I don't have to turn all these in order to receive the reward. Yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and obviously I have some stocked up here ready for. I think it's probably about 4 hours from now. This will be available to turn in. Might be less than that, depending on what time I started it yesterday. But I am here to do some more missions. That is what I am wanting to do. I think there's an achievement for finding all those. But yeah, so we're going to go do a mission. I will say that there is one thing that I have found while messing around here. Is that... I'm just going to grab this one over here. Oh, no, that's a snowball thing. I have found that if you do the race here in cat form, it's nearly impossible to lose. Nearly impossible to lose. Just because the cat is just so fast. It does make it so that you slip around a little bit more, but if you're wondering how you do that, you just tap one direction and then you'll stop yourself from sliding. So, I think I need some water. Pull my water over. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to actually try to see how many missions we actually can get done. Though I may be back here in about an hour. Hopefully I can get 2 missions done within future proof. So storm, bound, and time and tide is my goal for right now. So let's go ahead and see. I just realized something. You guys couldn't see anything. But you can now. Yeah, I switched over to a different window because I was in the middle of doing something. Forgot to turn it back. At least I didn't go through halfway through a mission. Streaming the NX01 retrofit. That would be nearly embarrassing.
Good to see you again. Thank you for responding to my message so quickly. The Tholians have the quantum phase inhibitor. I've tracked their ship to this system, and I'm detecting some telltale quantum fluctuations within the star. They're trying to use the device. We need to stop them and recover it. First, however, we need to help the Nakul. At this point in their history, they're not prepared to repel a Tholian attack.
Agreed. Set a course for the lead Tholian vessel. On screen?
Unidentified vessel. You have entered our space without authorization. If you are an ally of the Tholians, leave now. We have done nothing to provoke their attacks, but we will defend ourselves.
Well, we'll render any assistance we can. What do you need?
Thank you. My people have few warships. Any assistance you could provide against the Tholians would be appreciated.
Consider it done.
Unusual quantum fluctuations. It's as if the star's nuclear fusion is decaying at an increased rate.
Yes, they stole a device from us that interferes with the fusion process in the sun.
So this is your fault? Why would you make such a terrible thing? You caused this problem. I expect you to fix it, or we will hold you and your people responsible for the consequences.
Caldano created the device in the future. Tholian stole it from him. We're just trying to set things right.
I should have never made that device. I was only focused on the idea, on whether it was possible. I didn't stop to think of all the harm it could do in the wrong hands. We have to stop the Tholians before they shut down the star's fusion. If that happens, the effect on this system will be devastating. The Nakul will lose their home, and life will probably never develop here again.
Helm, lay in a course for the star. Full impulse.
The lead Tholian ship has the quantum phase inhibitor. They're going to use it on the star. We have to stop them. Board that vessel and get it back. Traced me to this time. We'll have to go further into the past to hide the quantum phase.
Oh no, they're using the toxin pod.
Assuming, of course, we can get it back from them in the first place.
Signal Caldano to join us in the shuttle bay. Prepare to launch a shuttle. welcome, viewer. If you do like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button. If you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. You'll get notifications when I do stream again. I do appreciate it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Currently going through the Temporal recruit storyline. On the last part of the actual Temporal recruit storyline, which is in the I don't remember the storyline is, but in the final stretch, Ragnarok will happen soon.
We've docked with a Tholian ship. The good news is that my scans indicate the quantum phase inhibitor is on the bridge. All we need to do is go get it. The bad news is that the Tholians know we're here. They're not going to give up without a fight.
Understood. We're ready.
The Tholians come from an environment that is extremely hazardous to most humanoids. You and your team will need environment suits to survive.
Understood. Thanks for the reminder. He should already have suits. Where is the board of the Tholian ship? Is it not going to allow me to get over there unless I put on a suit? Where is... Oh.
Just as xenophobic and opportunistic in your time as mine.
So they have apparently upgraded the Vigor probes.
We have to be getting closer to the Tox Utot. Stay alert. The bridge should be just ahead.
That's right. I'm incredibly evil.
Now we just need to drop that force field, get the quantum phase inhibitor, and get off this ship before the rest of the Tholians get here to stop us.
Drop the shield, get the phase inhibitor. Got it.
Finally, we have the quantum phase inhibitor. I brought this device through time to hide it from the Vorgons, but I never thought the Tholians would steal it. Now we need to hide it where it will be safe from both of them. Are you ready? This will be a longer trip than you're used to taking.
Beam us to the shuttle and launch immediately.
Set a course for the Ryza system.
Ryza, early 22nd century. Even the tourists won't be in this region for a few years yet. No one will be looking for the quantum phase inhibitor here. Not now, anyway. Let's try that cave up ahead. It looks like a good spot.
Acknowledged.
Wow, rain on Ryza. I guess they haven't installed the weather control systems yet. We have to hide the device very well. I can't afford to let it fall into the wrong hands again. And the Vorgons are very persistent. No, that's too obvious. Anyone could find it there. That's better, but I still think it will be too easy to find. That's it. Someone will find it in a few hundred years, but that's a different story for a different captain. Let's get back to your time. We need to check on the Nakul.
Beam up.
Setting course for 2014.
Can I say that the Nakul brought it on themselves? They just don't know it yet.
We need to get back to the Nakul.
On screen?
Return the toxin tap, and we will let you live.
We no longer have the device. We've hidden it where you'll never find it.
My temporal drive has been damaged.
This is Captain Walker of the USS Pasta. We are responding to a temporal distress call. Do you require assistance?
I mean, I think I need assistance, but you're more than welcome to join the firefight.
What happened to our son? What did you do?
Right, we were unable to stop the Tholians, but we were able to retrieve the Toxicot and hide it where no one can find it.
I'm sure that will be a great comfort to our citizens as they freeze to death.
We'll do whatever we can to assist you.
You have done quite enough. Leave us alone. Time travelers and malcontents and Tholians. The whole lot of you can fall into a black hole. Now go. We have to figure out how to save our people. And then we'll take steps to protect ourselves. Time is a weapon, and it will never be turned against us again.
Let us know if you change your mind and want our help.
This is Captain Benjamin Walker of the USS Postok. I'm responding to an emergency temporal transmission from these space-time coordinates, but we are no longer detecting the source of these transmissions. Did you lose a time traveler?
Yeah, Caldano's ship was damaged and he fell through a temporal portal.
I think you better come aboard while we resolve this. Prepare for transport.
Won the beam. Over. So one complaint I have about this is that how my character openly admits that we started this by allowing the Tholians to steal the toxic Utat. I don't think any writer would actually put that in a storyline where the captain just openly said, yeah, we're the one responsible. Mainly because it could have started a war. I really do need to switch my armor. Ba-doop.
Greetings. It's nice to see you again.
Again? We've never met before. Actually, that's not true. We've met.
Not that you remember. We need to scan the continuum for Caldano. Would you care to assist me?
Of course.
Were you able to locate Caldano?
This ship is in the 22nd century, but these readings are strange.
Enter the temporal coordinates into the transporter.
Acknowledged.
What happened with Caldano?
He's dead. Looks like he's been dead for centuries.
No, this was meant to happen. Caldano went further back into the past than you knew. The NX-01 Enterprise, captained by Jonathan Archer, found his ship in the 22nd century, and his chief engineer activated Caldano's emergency temporal circuit, which returned the ship to its last known time, this one. But by the time that happened, Caldano had been dead for centuries. The Tox Utat is safe. It was found in the mid-24th century by Captain Jean-Luc Picard, who destroyed it before it could be used to harm others.
And the Nakuls? Isn't there anything we could do for them?
Altering the past causes ripples. The effects move through time, shifting everything they touch, and it may take eons for all of them to be seen. The Nakul will survive, although their homeworld will be lost. They will become time travelers themselves, and their actions in the temporal Cold War shape the galaxy you now know. There are some things you shouldn't change, that you can't change.
The temporal Cold War?
You could check Captain Archer's old logs for more information, but you will know all about it soon enough. You are entering a dangerous era in history. Time travel, like warp drive before it, will radically change your society. I'll see you again. We have a lot to do.
Farewell, Captain. Thank you. One to beam up.
This is a sad day for the Federation. We failed to save the Nakul system. And our friend from the future, Caldano, is dead. I know you did everything you could. Sometimes, especially when we venture into time travel, things must play out a certain way. So, at least the timeline has been preserved. Captain Picard can now find the Tox Uthot on Risa in the 24th century. Still, let us mourn for Caldano and the Nakul people.
Don't think I need any of this. And none of these have visuals, so do that.
We have been contacted by the Federation from the 29th century. Their Temporal Integrity Commission is charged with protecting the timeline from factions who might want to change history. Considering our recent experiences, we feel the need to better understand the rules of time travel. However, it's important we don't know too much about the future, so we have decided to designate one representative to learn what we need to know. Given your record, you were the logical choice. You were to rendezvous with the USS Postok. Her captain will give you a more thorough briefing upon arrival.
Just checking to see if there's anything on here that I actually need, and it's all Polarons. It's just time and tide bundle. That's what I need. There's a big difference between these missions and the Gamma Quadrant missions. Just on length of time. You can just kind of see it from right now. Oh. When did that happen? I wonder how long that was up before I realized it was there. And if you're wondering what I'm saying, in the future, somebody posted a porn message on my
Please report
chat.
to the USS Postok.
Walker?
It's a pleasure to see you again. I'm glad you were selected as your time's representative. I can't imagine a better selection. Of course, I already knew you were going to be chosen, but that doesn't change my appreciation. Your recent experiences with time travel have begun a new phase of development, and a perilous one at that. Understanding the rules of time travel is of vital importance.
Tell me about the Temporal Prime Directive.
Starfleet personnel are strictly forbidden from directly interfering with historical events, and are required to maintain the timeline when possible. We're also restricted from revealing too much about the future. These principles have served Starfleet well. Now that the time travel genie is out of the bottle, it'll be hard to get it back in. The tech will spread through the galaxy, and species after species will learn the secrets of time.
I've seen that firsthand several times. Thank you. It's an honor.
Are you ready to visit the future?
Take me to the future.
Welcome to New Kittimer.
Here we are. Since you're from the past, I'll be your chaperone during the event, hopefully protecting you from any temporal incidents. Purely procedural, of course. You've already demonstrated your ability to remain silent about things you aren't supposed to know.
Acknowledged.
Welcome, gentle being, to the signing of the Temporal Accords. Your biosigns aren't listed on our register today. I'll need to... Wait. I know you. I wrote a paper about you in classical history class at the Academy. I must say, you look much younger than your holo images. Wait, what year did you come from?
2410?
Oh, that explains why you look so young. Well, you sure have an eventful future ahead of you. Forget I said that. I'm not supposed to say things like that. To be honest, I'm still getting used to the new temporal regulations. They can be a little confusing. Anyway, the TIC crews are scrubbing the hall for anything that might cause a paradox if visitors from the past, like yourself, encounter them. It will be just a few moments.
Very well.
Perhaps you would like to chat with some of our other guests here in the lobby. I believe they have all been cleared for trans-temporal interactions. I'm sure you'll have plenty to talk about.
Indeed. Thank you.
The Nakul are here to protest the signing of these unlawful, biased accords.
Why?
The Tholians ravaged our homeworld thanks to the Federation's ineptitude. In one dark moment, my people were scattered throughout the stars. All we were, our history, our way of life, was nearly lost. And when we needed the Federation the most, we were denied. Terrorists, they called us. Criminals, the dregs of the galaxy. These words, these deeds will never be forgotten or forgiven.
I'm not sure what the tragedy of the past has to do with today's event.
Today, the Federation and their lackeys come to tell the galaxy which timeline is best and what they'll do to keep it that way. But who are they to dictate such terms? To tell us that their history is more important than ours?
So you would change the past despite the risks? You could undo your own existence. And trust me, I know this from experience.
My existence? My existence has been nothing but hardship and pain. The life of an exile. I'd gladly sacrifice it to restore my homeworld and prevent the mass exodus of my people. Don't tell me you wouldn't do the same, were our places reversed.
I'd resist the temptation. Too much could go wrong to risk it. Let me tell you a story about the return of Romulus.
Greetings, friend. How may I help you?
Who are you?
Where do I start? I'm 157 years old, but that's only because I spent 90 years caught in a temporal distortion. Back then, I was serving as an ensign under Captain Bateson on the USS Bozeman. After that, integrating back into Starfleet was difficult. So much had changed. Some of my shipmates joined temporal investigations. Their first-hand knowledge of past events was quite useful. Seemed like a way to make a difference. So that's where I ended up as well.
Why are you here?
Same reason as you, I'll imagine. To witness the signing of the Temporal Accords. Usually, temporal agents watch holo recordings of the event. But the three of us were given special dispensation to come and view the Accords personally. Perks for graduating at the top of the class, I suppose.
Who are you?
Where do I start? I'm 157 years old, but that's only because I spent 90 years caught in a temporal distortion. Back then, I was serving as an ensign under Captain Bateson on the USS Bozeman. After that, integrating back into Starfleet was difficult. So much had changed. some of my shipmates joined Temporal investigations. Their first-hand knowledge of past events was quite useful. Seemed like a way to make a difference. So that's where I ended up as well.
Don't you recognize me?
Pretty certain we haven't met until just now. Not yet, at least. I just graduated from the Academy as a Temporal agent. That being said, it's quite possible that we will meet in the future. Well, my future. Tell you what, I'll try to act surprised when it happens.
That's alright for now.
Attention all guests. The main hall is now open. Please make your way to your seats.
I must say, I am privileged to witness this historic event. Truly, it is a singular honor. I'm humbled, as I'm sure you are as well.
Indeed. What we've seen history making today.
The Xindi are no strangers to temporal affairs. The tragic conflict with Earth in the 22nd century and our manipulation by the Sphere Builders are matters of deep shame for us all. We support the Accords with the hope that they will prevent such tragedies from this day forth.
A worthy goal.
Time travelers are cowards, their greed and heresy have us upon the present, rather than the memory of the past, and dream of the future.
I'm sure your support of the Accords is appreciated.
While the Accords promise to safeguard the time stream for us all, I can't help but ponder the opportunities for temporal abuse that will remain after they are signed. I fear great imbalance could occur, despite the very good intentions of all the signatories involved.
Enforce the Accords properly, and we won't be a problem.
The Tholian Assembly has decided to support the Accords. We are concerned that a rogue individual or species could disrupt our development. The Accords do not go far enough. We want to end all time travel for any reason. We will continue to lobby for change aggressively. Should the Union fail to preserve the timeline, the Assembly will succeed by any means necessary. That is all.
Ah, Tholian diplomacy at its finest.
I am honored by the Founders and pleased to observe this most historic event. Although the Dominion was not greatly affected by the development of time travel, we have an interest in safeguarding the time stream.
That's a good thing to hear.
Jolan True, you are from the past. From before the time the Romulans joined the Federation, I'll wager. How strange all of this must be for you. The entire galaxy unites in preserving the timeline. This is truly a momentous day for all.
Indeed it is.
The Nakul are not here to sign these accords. We have already been victims of time-traveling aliens. But somehow this incursion into the timeline has been overlooked. Perhaps because of its importance to the founding of the Galactic Union. We proposed an amendment to restore our home world in the timeline, but it was rejected. Therefore we are here, with all eyes of the galaxy upon us, to point out the hypocrisy and unlawfulness of these accords.
I see.
Your uniform. 25th century, correct? You're definitely a visitor from the past, and an honored one at that. Welcome to the 28th century. I hope you'll enjoy seeing what your work and sacrifice has wrought.
Thank you for this honor.
These Accords are going to provide quite the opportunity for our historical studies of economic matters. I hear the Grand Nagus is going to formally announce several new temporal rules of acquisition soon. I hope at least one of them covers going back in time to beat someone to a deal.
Hopefully in a way that prevents such activities.
Greetings. Pardon me for saying so, but you look very familiar. Have we met before? Wait, I remember you from my history studies. You saved our homeworld. There's a statue in your honor in the capital city on Lucari Prime. Oh, wait. That's already happened for you, right? Oh, good. Woo. That'd be just my luck to cause a paradox here, today. Can you imagine?
It would be a little awkward, yes.
I am reminded of a quote from ancient Earth. And when Alexander saw the breadth of his domain, he wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
An interesting perspective.
The Borg have a checkered past when it comes to time travel, particularly where the Federation is concerned. Thankfully, we've had the chance to make amends. The Cooperative is proud to be a part of today's proceedings.
As am I. It's quite an honor.
We Kabali are quite thankful to see the Accords go into effect. Many who disagree with our customs could be tempted to return to a point in time where those customs could be disrupted permanently.
Indeed.
Well, one of our very special guests. It is so nice to meet you. I am Wixit, your humble master of ceremonies for this historic event. Quite an honor, wouldn't you say? So exciting. This ceremony is about to begin, so you should find your seat. But I'd love to chat with you after the signing.
I'm looking forward to it.
Delegates and honored guests, your attention, please. The signing ceremony is about to begin. Please take your seats.
Representatives from dozens of species have gathered to witness this historic event. It looks like they are getting ready to begin the formal signing. Of course, this is largely ceremonial. The negotiation... Wait, there is some kind of disturbance.
This oppression will not stand. The time stream shall be free. We will liberate the galaxy from the tyranny of the Temporal Accords. We shall wipe the stain of the Federation from history.
Quick, get the delegates to safety. The Krenim are taking the delegates hostage. The Krenim have grabbed... The Krenim have grabbed the delegates and are holding them hostage in some nearby offices. This is damn peculiar. We're facing a major temporal flux here. The hostiles have neutralized embassy security, but it looks like they weren't expecting us to be here. It's up to us to rescue the delegates.
Acknowledged.
Watch out! More Krenim beaming in! More Krenim! Neutralize them as quickly as possible. We need to save those delegates.
Can anybody hear us? The Krenim are holding us hostage in the embassy offices. Please, anyone, help!
The Krenim are holding us hostage. Requesting immediate assistance!
Hang on, we're on our way.
Cooperate, and you won't be hurt. Resist, and your safety cannot be guaranteed.
I thought my life path was at an end. My thanks for proving me wrong.
You're welcome.
It was a good day to die for the Krenim.
Well said, Ambassador. Blah.
You saved my world. And now you saved me. I'm beginning to like you.
Feelings mutual, Admiral. Stay safe.
I shall live to serve the Founders another day. My thanks to you, of course.
You're welcome.
This wasn't supposed to happen. History says the Accords were signed and there was no mention of an attack.
4 to beam up. 5 to beam up. Welcome to the video. If you do like what you see, feel free to give me a like. If you would like to see more, hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. You'll be notified when I stream again. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. I am currently going through the Temporal storyline in the last leg of it. Heading my way to Ragnarok. This character is a Temporal recruit on a free-to-play account. Trying to work my way through the Temporal recruit account unlocks, so I can unlock them for the whole account.
Those look like Krenim ships.
Acknowledged.
This conference will not continue. I won't abide it. All ships fire at will. Leave no survivors. Wait, I recognize that ship.
Yes, you do.
Oh no, not this time. This time, you will not prevail. Taste the bitter dregs of failure.
Sure. Well, welcome to the game. I unfortunately don't play any of the console versions, but From my understanding, the console version and the PC version are very similar, except for a few.
The Nakul have used the Krenim attack as a cover to attack the temporal sensor array. All our forces are tied up fighting the Krenim. We can't afford to lose that array. It monitors the time stream for incursions. If it were damaged, people could travel into the past without being detected. Curious. The Krenim and Nakul vessels have started fighting each other in the confusion. Let's make the most of that, shall we?
Understood. Helm, set an intercept course. So from my understanding, the Xbox version and the PC versions are the same, except for some UI differences. And you will get some items that are usually happens either a month or a month and a half later than what comes on the PC. Yeah, well, it's I'm not gonna say impossible or hard, but the graphics engine on this game, it is dated. It's a 12-year-old game.
Got the Krenim on the run over here. Stay focused on the array.
But so it doesn't take a whole lot to get better graphics. So enough for the get on the piece. Or on the
We've cleared out most of the Krenim ships. Engaging Anoraks now. The more the merrier.
I'm actually kind of curious on what would hold since the graphics engine's so old, what would hold it back on consoles.
On your timeline. He was a Krenim researcher on the Anoraks timeship project, if memory serves.
Yeah, see, he helped us against the Iconians.
I thought as much. Something must have disturbed the timeline. I'm afraid you will need to return to your own time to investigate. I'll accompany you, but I can't interact with anybody from your time. I'll open a portal when you're ready. Are you ready now?
I'm ready. Captain, engage. You want to know a really good ship to get, though, especially if you're new. The Bozeman, which is one of the more recent ships that came out. It's probably one of the best freighters in the game, just because it has all universal slots except for a commander engineering bridge officer slot. Allows for a wide variety of builds. I've been wanting to do like a short thing on some things that it's important to know when you're playing the game for the first time. Some of the things like the exchange is your friend, but don't get too involved into the exchange unless you're level 65, mainly because the price of things below Mark 12, which I guess you can do at level 50, but the price of items below Mark 12 are overpriced compared to Mark 12 and higher stuff. Do your reputations. Reputations are very important. Just mainly because there's a lot of good stuff in the reputations that you can work on. You will also get extra dill, and dill is important because you can convert that over to Zen. Also used as a way to upgrade items and spend them on other stuff too. Anytime you see anything that says count unlock, highly suggested to work on it, even if it doesn't seem that great. Like sometimes the account unlock ships will not be the greatest ships, but they're still good to have unlocked just in case sometime in the future you might want to do that. Other account unlocks are good on account unlocks are endeavors. Though I lack on doing my endeavors recently because I've been trying to concentrate on other things. The bonuses you get, so like for your space, like impulse speed, turn rate, damage, crit, all this stuff gets applied to every one of your characters. So unlocking this greatly increases every time you play through with a character, and it increases the character that you currently have. When recruits come out, such as the like this is a temporal recruit, always make at least one. Unless it's a delta recruit, then you need to make 3 because you need to make one for each faction to get all the bonuses, but always make at least one, because you'll get bonuses on the character that is the recruit. Like all these stuff applies for the current character I have, but then each one of these also unlocks something for the account. Most of the time it's dill, or it's marks, and things along those lines, where you can use those to level up other characters. To kind of give you an idea, I had recently leveled up some temporal recruits to go through and complete all of the reputation on them to get the deal from them, and I was able to get enough marks for each of the reputations just off of the marks that you get for completing the other recruits. Those are a few advices I can get, especially for a new player. When it comes to like the skills and stuff like that, don't pay too much attention on shield stuff. A lot of the enemies in the game, for some unknown reason, their main attack is just stripping shields and then attacking your hold down. And because it just makes it so that shields are absolutely worthless, spending a whole lot of time on shields is not very suggested. Generally whole and then tactical. Tactical will generally get you through most stuff just because it increases damage. When it comes to leveling up your skills on your ground, only 2 things that really matter are the weapon damages and the kits. If you were able to get in and play when the Kamarki's armor was available for that kit set, Kamarki's armor is by far one of the best free armor sets that you can play with, just because it is a set that buffs kit damage, which means that a lot of these will do a lot of damage. And I'm not sure on how the Xbox exchange is when it comes to prices, but generally a lot of the decent decent kit modules, the universal ones, can be purchased for, at least on the PC, for no more than 10 million, which is pretty easy to get 10 million EC. But things like the Agony Field Generator, the Solar Gateway, all of these things can be found on the exchange. And I think the Agony here and on the PC was 10 million. This was somewhere around 2 million. So it goes back to my previous statement that the exchange is your friend, unless you're below level 50. Then it's not your friend because everything's overpriced. Another reason to do your endeavors.
Back to Kiana. We hadn't expected to see you again so soon. To what do we owe?
I'm just going to skip out of that because I don't want to talk to her just yet. The endeavors, also when you do unlock or finish the endeavors, you get these boxes here. And just by doing these, you can probably get about, on average, about about 1 million. Sometimes you'll get a lot worse than that. Sometimes you get a lot better than that when it comes to EC credits, but on average per day you can get 1 million EC. You can also get EC through doing the Tour of Galaxy. So if you're looking to get some of the, like, especially the hero ships, the hero ships themselves, the best thing to do is wait for a legendary bundle to come out, and that's specifically the 10th anniversary legendary bundle, which I'm assuming is going to go on sale sometime soon. They go on it. It's kind of like a Disney movie thing, where it goes back into the vault for about 3 months, and it comes back out, and then goes back to the vault. But it has improved versions of all of the hero ships, and I guess improved is suggestive, but depends on what you're looking for. But basically it has 2 versions of the Constitution, the TOS Constitution. It has the 2009 Constitution, and then a Galaxy Sovereign, all the way up to on all the other hero ships. Those will get you basically unlockable Connies and stuff like that. Besides that, the only TOS ships you can get, if you're looking for TOS style ships, there's an expansion pack for the Temporal Recruit that you can get. It comes with tiered versions of the ships, and also comes with T6 versions of ships, which can have swappable models with the older versions. So each ship comes with, there's 6 tiers of ships, 1 through 6. And the increasing of the tiers gives you more bridge officer slots and console slots. Within each tier there's 2 sub tiers, which is based upon the old Star Trek Online system, where you didn't have T6 ships, you just had tier 1 through 5 basically. But the tier 1 through 5 ships, they don't get better as you level them up. Tier 6 ships you can play at any point after the tutorial, and then those ships kind of level up as you go. And so all of these, this ship, this ship, this ship, and this ship are all actually, and the temporal ships over here are all T6 ships. So those are some good TOS style ships. I think one of the major flaws of Star Trek Online right now is that they don't have a mass majority of TOS ships, which I think is a huge thing that's missing from the game. But with the release of Strange New Worlds, I think that's going to change a little bit. I think you're going to start seeing more and more TOS style ships, though it may have some of the Aztecing that you see in the newer style of ships. But one of my favorite designs is the Ranger here, which is a 4-4 battle cruiser, but it just looks absolutely pretty. Now, if you don't mind trying to find your way into getting a decent ship or an expensive ship, probably one of the better TOS ships is the TOS Dreadnought, which also has one of the better consoles in the game. But it just really depends on how much you want to invest in the game and stuff like that. But I would suggest, if you get the opportunity, if you just want like Connies and stuff like that, the Legendary Bundle is probably one of the better things that you can get. Just because it gives you all the hero ships, and gives you three different versions of the Connie, and one of the Connies that is a really good ship. Let's go ahead and finish out this mission. We're almost done.
Welcome back to Kiana. We hadn't expected to see you again so soon. To what do we owe the pleasure?
I have some questions for Noi.
Noi? Well, he's been working on some secret project of late. To be honest, he's been more than a little hostile, and that's saying something for Noi. I was about to check in with him, if you would like to accompany me.
Yeah, lead on, Supervisor. No, it's fine. I think one of the things that gets missed in this game a lot is that the level entry, you can always find information on how to do top end content, but it's hard to find good information on how to just get started, which is, I think, a missed opportunity for a lot of the game here.
Oh, it's you. I thought I'd seen the last of you after you flew off to your great victory over the Iconians. Well, what do you want? I'm very busy.
What are you working on?
Come now, you can read, can't you? Access my latest report to command if you want to know what I'm working on. Feel free to waste the time of the charming bureaucrat standing next to you, but I'll thank you to stop wasting mine. Now, if this interrogation is over, I've more important matters to attend to. Good day.
Like I said, more than a little hostile. He's been like this for some time now, and no one's sure why.
We have a reason to believe he may be plotting treason. Would it be possible to see what he's been working on?
Treason? Noi? I mean, sure, he's been difficult to work with, but... Oh, I hope you're wrong. Noi has top-level access to everything we're working on here. I don't need to tell you how much damage that could do in the wrong hands. Let me call up his files.
Thank you, Supervisor.
He was working on the Anoraks. Wait a minute. It looks like he was accessing the launch protocols and docking clamp.
I'm gonna heal her with my gun.
Ah, I see you found my farewell gift, Tralla. I'm so glad. As for you, I'm taking command of the Anorax now. I can see that bothers you greatly. So will the numerous bombs I've left behind.
Where are you, bombs? There. Also, one thing I forgot to mention before is get used to your fleet, because there's a lot of stuff on the fleets that you can get. Some stuff that is actually better than what you can get normally, like the fleet tactical consoles, which give you bonuses to crit chance and crit damage. Generally, the wisdom is that if you have a tactical character, crit damage is better because tactical characters have many ways to get crit chance. But if you have any other character, then crit chance is what you'd want to get. But these are available on the fleet. Another important one is the deflector array. That's in the fleet too, which is one of the better deflector arrays. That's in the colony. These are in the Voth fleet, which I don't remember what it's called right now. And the Spire. Trotta, no!
Noi stole the Anorax? I can't believe it. How could he do such a thing? What drove him to betray us like this?
Maybe there's a clue in his personal logs.
There's only one way to find out. Computer, bring up the research notes and personal logs of researcher Noi. Authorization Tralla 23, Victor 6 Sigma.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Please input your selection below.
Personal log supplemental. We had some visitors from the Alliance today. Noi was rather rude to them, but I managed to smooth things over. This time. Still, he has good reason to be stressed. The war isn't going well, and there's a lot of pressure on him right now. He could be a bit more agreeable, however. Perhaps a peace offering. Those Terran snack cakes he's so fond of with the... what is the word? Nougat. I tried to tell him about the baby again last night, but he was so stressed out. I just couldn't add to his burden. Hopefully things will calm down a bit soon and I can tell him. On a positive note, my work is progressing quite well. I believe these logs should now be shielded from any kind of temporal incursion.
Please input your selection below.
Another suggestion I can make. I'm just thinking of stuff as I'm watching through these. If you're going to do anything that requires you to gain marks, which you will have to do for your first couple characters that you level up with, always do randoms. Randoms are a little hard. They can become a little stressful sometimes. But the thing about randoms is that you You get the marks that you would normally get within a random, but then you also get a pack of either 60 to 1,000 extra dill. Well, 60 to 100 extra marks that you can apply to any one of them, and 600 to 1,000 extra dill. And since the dill is very valuable in the game, it makes it so it's a little bit better worth it. So if you're going to try to hunt down marks, do randoms. You'll easily end up getting enough marks for whatever you're trying to raise marks in, and the extra dill's worth it.
Personal log supplemental. My review of the time capsule files is complete. What I have learned has shocked me to the very core of my being. I had a wife, and she was pregnant. My wife and unborn child were murdered by the Federation and their allies. They devastated my people, murdered my family, and erased an entire species from time and space. I cannot let this stand. This I vow. I shall not rest until I have restored my family or avenged their deaths. Time itself shall be the instrument of my vengeance.
The only time you'll ever have to play PvP is or that it's really just where you have to do it is with once you get to endeavors. One of the universal endeavors is to play in a PvP match. And when you get that one, it's just kind of just one of those where you just go do it and just get it done with. And then even if you get slaughtered 1,000 times, you just get it done with. Matter of fact, the faster you get slaughtered, the faster the PvP match gets over with. But yeah, that's the only time you'll ever actually have to do PvP. And again, that's up to you whether or not you'd even want to do it at that point.
Please input your selection below.
Personal log supplemental. At last, I have found them, the Tutarians, or rather, what they have become. Some of them managed to escape the treachery of the Federation, finding sanctuary in a trans-dimensional void. They are powerful. So powerful that some primitive species worship them like gods. And yet, they are trapped in their realm, no longer able to exist within prime space. But I can help them. I can release them from Duran's vial. With these builders at my side, I shall have my vengeance for Clouda.
Please input. Download complete.
What the? We're under attack!
Noi has returned, and he's made a number of potent modifications to his ship. We could use some help up here with him and his allies.
One to beam up.
Waiting for this for a long time. At last, I take the first fateful steps upon my path of vengeance.
And they'll be our last if you're not careful. Stand down.
As always, your thinking is so limited. For you, it has been moments, but for me, it has been years. Years of planning, building, all to return to this moment in time, to end you.
This doesn't have to happen, Noi.
Oh, but it does, believe me. You took them. My wife, my unborn child. Time was your weapon then, and it is mine now. With it, I will eradicate your wretched alliance, just as you wiped the Tutarians from history. But first things first. It's time for you to die.
You're better than this, Noi. Stand down.
This is Walker. We've got our hands full with Noi over here, but we'll keep him busy while you defend the station. We could use a hand once it's secure, though. Anorax packs quite a punch.
Acknowledge, Stock.
Definitely isn't the same Anorax we left a few minutes ago.
Target our engineering section and disable the main drive. That's a bug.
Oh, there you are. I thought we'd lost you. What happened to Noi?
He disrupted our warp field and made escape in the chaos.
Damn. A rogue agent out there with a ship like the Anorax is a real big problem. One step at a time. Let's get you back to the 25th century once you're ready for the trip.
So, Noi turned against us, huh? This is troublesome. With his theft of the Anorax, he poses a great threat to the galaxy. Sadly, I don't think we've seen the last of him. The surprise actions of the Nakul are also a concern. What could they be up to, I wonder? Regardless, I think you'll agree. The battlefield just got a lot bigger. The data from the future you've provided has made it clear. We need to form a stronger alliance with the major galactic factions. To that end, we're sending delegates to the First Alliance Summit. This could be the beginning of a new age, and your presence there could ensure the summit's success. Meet our delegation at the embassy on New Romulus.
Alright. So we are going to head back to the Winter Wonderland that it is. So another thing I would suggest is, since the winter event's going on, easy way to get ornaments from the winter event. And how close am I to? Ooh. Daily bonus available. Sweet. Collect awards. Collect awards. Collect. Collect. One more. So from the event area, if you go through and just do the duty officer missions, you will get all the ornaments you'll ever need. But with that being said, I am going to go through. I am going to do the boring thing of having 25 characters gather up their duty officer missions, and then I'm going to head off to bed. So if you have been watching, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you do like what you see, go ahead and hit that like button. If you'd like to see more, hit that subscribe button, that notification bell. You'll be notified when I stream again. Maybe I'll try to put a video together on the advice I gave into some things for some new beginners to do in the game. But thank you again. Like I said, I appreciate it. Hope you have a good day.